hey, if you're watching this video, I'm guessing that you're struggling with health anxiety, and you might have seen some of the other videos on my channel, you might have not. If not, I'm John, and I've experienced health anxiety for a lot of my life, and it's impacted me in many different ways growing up, but I'm at a place where I feel like it doesn't impact my day-to-day life anymore. I feel like I'm in control of it, and I truly believe that you can be in control of it as well. And here's how I know why. Recently I was in Paris, and the week before I was in Sweden, so I was lucky enough to have 2 weekend breaks, because I've not I wanted to end the summer with just some nice little trips with friends. And on the trips, something occurred to me of thoughts that I've not had, and it was just like, wow. Like, in comparison to years ago, when there's a video that I did on my channel, which isn't that long ago, I think it was like 4 years ago, it was during the pandemic, when I did a video talking about my health anxiety, and how I thought I had a kind of cancer, and I didn't. I got tested for it, but I went through the whole spiral of it all. But it got me thinking of when I used to travel, and when I used to travel, I used to, without really even realising how much it impacted me, I used to think about, where's the nearest hospital if this happened? I used to feel anxious about being far away from a hospital, not being able to maybe communicate in an emergency in a foreign language, if I had a heart attack, or if I was on the plane, you know, what would happen if that, like, or being not really accessible to a hospital made me feel really anxious, like not having the travel insurance, the medical insurance, all of that. And that would be a major thing to have in my mind. Obviously, everyone has thoughts of like, oh, it's good to have travel insurance just in case you get sick. But for me, it would be like it would be a big thing that would, I didn't realise it at the time, but it's only when I realised I wasn't worried about it anymore, I realised how big of a part of travel it was, and how anxious it made me feel. And I think it was just realising that just made me realise how far I've come, and just such like a big journey. I've been on such a big journey with health anxiety, and sorry, my cat's like running around, and just like a personal journey. I've just been on such a big personal journey with it. Like, it used to affect me so much. Like, I used to, which I didn't realise, like I used to go at least a few months a year thinking that I have a disease or something, and that went on for like my whole teenage years, and my even some of my early 20s, and it's only now that I don't worry about my health day to day that I realise how far I've come. Obviously, anxiety can never completely go away, and I've realised that I do get anxious about other things as well as health, even though health is the primary reason. But the reason from this ramble about my travelling and how I feel like I'm just in such a different place with it all is because if I can do it, you can definitely overcome your health anxiety, and I just promise you this feeling is not forever. And I really want to just be able to be that help for that. I did a recent sort of audio that I made that I'll put below, that I'll also do a video about promoting as well, but it's just like a little 60-minute audio like experience kind of thing, and I hope that makes you feel better. Like, I don't gain anything from it, I just made it in my bedroom, but I hope that makes you feel a little bit better. Blues here. But I just overwhelmingly want to tell you that if I can be here with my health anxiety now, coming from a place where I would be in spirals and spirals about my health anxiety all the time, I promise that I can hopefully save my full chest, that you also, this feeling will not last forever. And there's things that you can do to help, and I've talked about it in a few other videos, and I'll do some more videos, things that will help relieve this and just stop it. Like, I feel like the frustrating part of it for me was, even though I knew subconsciously like this was an anxiety, it still was frustrating me because I felt like it was wasting some of my time, But I was like, but it was so all-consuming. Because how can you relax when you think you've got this life-changing, incurable disease? You can't function. You can't properly think because it's huge, and it's not. It's the uncertainty of it, and I know that people have it in different varying scales. So it's different. Everyone will have it in a different way. But for me, it was always life-threatening things that I thought that I had, and it would be triggered by something. And I've been exploring it a lot recently in different ways that I'll talk about on a few different videos. But long story short, I've actually started writing about it, and I did a writing course with Curtis Brown, and I'm writing like a little non-fiction piece about my experiences with health anxiety and how it affected me growing up, with different chapters, and I'll talk maybe more about it in a different video. But yeah, the purpose of this was just to tell you that I know like this won't last forever, and as much as phases pass, and it's frustrating because I think what I was frustrated about is something would go, but then there's always something else. Like a lump would go, but then I'd have bellyache, and then I'd have a headache, and then I'd have this. There's always something, because our bodies are always got sensations. That's never going to change. We're always going to feel different things. But it was only when I did take action and worked on it that those phases eventually stopped. And there's obviously a regularity about worrying about your health. Like, if you're a worrier like me, you're always going to worry about, to some degree, but it's to the level where it's health anxiety is all consuming, and it's taking away your time, your precious time. We don't want that. So I hope this ramble made you just feel a little bit like, this isn't forever. And please, if you are suffering right now, please try out my audio. I'd love to know if it works and if it just helps you listen to it all the way through from start to finish, and let me know what you think. And let me know if you'd want to read my little health anxiety book as well, maybe. But yeah, send love, subscribe, and speak soon.